Elon Musk just came out on Twitter saying that Starlink is banned from operating in South Africa because he is white. This is false. He's never even applied as the owner of Starlink for a license to operate in South Africa. So what's actually going on here? Well, as you know, South Africa only recently ended its policy of apartheid, which was the horrible discrimination against the black population by the very small minority white population, in which it was preventing black people from being able to own property in the same ways and being able to participate in politics in the same ways. It was horrible. And so it finally ended. And in order to try and prevent it from happening again and from continuing on, there's a rule there. There's a law that says if you're a foreign telecom company and you want to do business in South Africa and have a subsidiary there in South Africa, that subsidiary has to at least be 30% owned by historically disadvantaged groups. So that does not mean you have to be black. Any historically disadvantaged group, only 30% and only in that subsidiary, right? So it has nothing to do with whether or not Elon Musk is white. Other companies have even found ways around it by working with South Africa and kind of finding ways to invest or engage in business with them that they find, okay, yeah, you've basically met our rule. So the long and short of it is it isn't happening. It's certainly not happening in the way that Elon Musk is saying. So what makes me even more worried is he's coming out and saying this on Twitter, which he owns. And the last time I checked, there was no context, no community notes, right? You can go on Twitter and you can say, well, let's add a community note saying, well, you're not actually banned. You've never actually applied. It only has to be this 30%, blah, blah, blah. None of that is there. So it makes me wonder, is he preventing people from even being able to add this context so that we actually can understand the facts of what are happening because he owns Twitter? If that's the case, then that means that he's using Twitter to provide disinformation, preventing people from being able to add more information or add more context. At the very least, we do know that this isn't the case. It certainly needs more context. It certainly adds to racial tensions here in the United States. So is he using Twitter, lying on Twitter, and using it as a way to try and create racial tensions between not just people in other countries, but here in the US to advantage himself financially and politically?